Hare Krishna to all the devotees on this call. This is Geeta from Maryland. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Geeta Mataji, Dhanu Pranam, all glory to Srila Prabhupada, Guru Maharaj. Thank you for joining the call.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Madhavat Pranam to you and all the devotees on the call. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. This is Rupini Padma Devi Dasi from Orlando, Florida.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dhanu Pranam, all glory to Srila Prabhupada, Guru Maharaj. Thank you for joining.
Hare Krishna, Maridhar Prabhu and all the assembled devotees, and Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. This is Shamarasika Devdasi from Germantown, Maryland.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dhanu Pranam, all glory to Srila Prabhupada, Guru Maharaj. Thank you for joining.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. My humble obeisances to all the assembled devotees. This is Premanandini Devidasi from Ashburn, Virginia.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dhanu Pranam, all glory to Srila Prabhupada, Guru Maharaj. Thank you for joining the call.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, this is Malini from Ashburn, Virginia, and Hare Krishna to all devotees. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dhanu Pranam, all glory to Srila Prabhupada, Guru Maharaj. Thank you for joining. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Today we are very fortunate. We have our grace Amrita Madhavi Devidasi Mataji from Bangalore, India. And Mataji is going to enlighten us from Srimad Bhagvatam, Canto 8, Chapter 4, verse number 13 onwards. Hare Krishna Mataji, Dhanu Pranam, all glory to Srila Prabhupada. Welcome to the call. You may take over the call when you are ready.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru and Gauranga. My humble obeisances to everyone in the call. So before starting the Bhagavatam, let us pray. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Nami. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschati Vishtarini. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Ukam Karoti Vachalam Sangam Langai Tigre Petkapata Mahamandi Shri Guru Dinataranam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Hari Om Tatsat. I hope it is getting recorded. I didn't hear the recording happening.
Yes.
Thank you. So let us start. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 8, Chapter 4, Text 13. Evam vimoksha gajayutapam abjanabas tenapi parshadagatim gamitena yuktaha gandharva siddha vibudhair upagiyamana karmadbhutam swabhavanam garudasanogat. So, translation of Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 8, Chapter 4, Text 13. Upon delivering the king of the elephants from the clutches of the crocodile and from material existence, which resembles a crocodile, the Lord awarded him the status of Sarupya Mukti. In the presence of the Gandharvas, the Siddhas, and the other demigods who were praising the Lord for his wonderful transcendental activities, the Lord, sitting on the back of his carrier, Garuda, returned to his all wonderful abode and took Gajendra with him. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. In this verse, the word vimoksha is significant. For a devotee, moksha or mukti, salvation, means getting the position of the Lord's associate. The impersonalists are satisfied to get the liberation of merging in the Brahman effulgence. But for a devotee, mukti, liberation, means not to merge in the effulgence of the Lord, but to be directly promoted to the Vaikuntha planets and to become an associate of the Lord. In this regard, there is a relevant verse in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 14, verse number 8. That is, तत्तेनुकम्पां सुषमीक्षमाणो भुञ्जान एवात्मकृतं विपाकं हृद्वाग्वपुर्भिर्विदधन् नमस्ते जीवेत यो मुक्तिपदे सदाय भाक्. It means one who seeks your compassion and thus tolerates all kinds of adverse conditions due to the karma of his past deeds, who engages always in your devotional service with his mind, words, and body, who always offers obeisances unto you, is certainly a bona fide candidate for liberation. A devotee who tolerates everything in this material world and patiently executes his devotional service can become Mukti Pade Sadaya Bhav, means a bona fide candidate for liberation. The word Daya Bhav refers to a hereditary right to the Lord's mercy. A devotee must simply engage in devotional service, not caring about material situations. Then he automatically becomes a rightful candidate for promotion of Vaikuntha Loka. The devotee who renders unalloyed service to the Lord gets the right to be promoted to Vaikuntha Loka just as a son inherits the property of his father. When a devotee gets liberation, he becomes free from material contamination and engages as a servant of the Lord. This is explained in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 10, verse number 6. Muktir hitvan yatha rupam swarupena vyavastitihi. The word swarupa refers to sarupya mukti, or going back home, back to Godhead, and remaining the Lord's eternal associate, having regained a spiritual body exactly resembling that of the Lord, with four hands holding the Shankha, Chakra, Gada, and Padma. The difference between the mukti of the impersonalist and that of the devotee is that the devotee is immediately appointed an eternal servant of the Lord, whereas an impersonalist, although merging in the effulgence of the Brahma Jyoti, is still insecure and therefore generally falls again to this material world. Aruhya krichrena param padam tatah patanti ado anadrita yushmad anagrahya, which is from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 2, verse 32. It means, although the impersonalist rises to the Brahman effulgence and enters to that effulgence, he has no engagement in the service of the Lord. Therefore, he is again attracted to materialistic philanthropic activities. Thus, he comes down to open hospitals and educational institutions, feed poor men, and perform similar materialistic activities, which the impersonalist thinks are more precious than serving the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Anadrita Yushmad Anagrayaha means the impersonalists do not think that the service of the Lord is more valuable than serving the poor man or starting a school or hospital. Although they say Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya, Brahman is real and the material world is false, they are nonetheless very eager to serve the false material world and neglect the service of lotus feet of Supreme Personality of Godhead. So this was a long purport with most important point about how we can get liberation from this material world. Here, Prabhupada explains different kinds of liberations. He says some people are wanting to get merged in the Brahman effulgence. Though Bhagavad Gita says, Natvevaham jatunasam natvam neme janadipaha na chaiva na bhavishyamaha. That is, whether it is now or in the past or in the bhavishya or in the future, there will be no time when all these people do not exist. Means, how can someone merge and become one with Krishna? We don't become like a drop of ocean water merging with the ocean, means the drop does not exist. We are not like the drop of the ocean water that merges with ocean. But when we want to merge into the Brahman effulgence, it is like a green bird getting inside a green tree of the same color as its feathers. It may look like it became one with the tree, but factually it does not. It maintains its existence. Though it may not have any other bird in the surrounding, it may feel it's all alone. It's become one with the tree in its perception, but actually the green bird does not become one with the green tree. But impersonalists think that when the green bird goes into a green tree, it loses its existence and it becomes a tree, something like that. So that is not how it is, says Prabhupada. That is why Prabhupada is telling from the reference, is giving a reference from Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, chapter number 2, verse 32, which says, Aruhya Krichrena Param Padam Tataha Patanti. Patanti, you may go to Param Padam, but your patan hota hai, you will fall down. Patan is falling down. Ado Anadrita Yushvadangraya. Anadrita, because they are not worshipping. Yushvadangraya, because Krishna's lotus feet is not being worshipped. They're not engaging in the service of the Lord. Therefore, such people again get attracted to philanthropic activities of serving the material world. See, it is very shocking that the impersonalists who are spiritual seekers, they don't want to worship Krishna in his form, but they want to worship all the material bodied, but the jivas, those who are materialists, they don't mind serving and they think that that is the most supremely wonderful activity, even more supreme than worshipping the supreme personality of Godhead in his deity form in the temples, because they feel the Lord is formless. But they do not mind serving the formful jivas who have their material form, with material body. They don't mind, and they think that is more superior. But they do not want to worship the form of the Supreme Lord. That is a tragedy. And therefore, even though they go to Brahma Jyoti, there are all chances of them falling down, says Srila Prabhupada. But then how can we get liberated? If going to Brahman effulgence is only going to lead to our fall down, then how do we go back to God and not return? For that, Prabhupada is saying it's possible for a devotee. And even for that, Prabhupada is quoting from Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, chapter 14, verse 8, which is the most famous verse used in ISKCON in many of the Bhagavatam classes. It's quoted so many times. Tattenu sushamekshimano. What does it mean? So that particular verse means one who seeks your compassion. Tattenu anukampam. His compassion and thus tolerates all kinds of adverse conditions. Bunjana evatma ritam vipakam, thus tolerates all adverse conditions due to karma of his past deeds. Rudvag vapur vidadhan namaste, who engages always in your devotional service within his mind, words, body. Hrud, vak, vapu. Using a hrud is heart, vak is words, vapu is body. So he engages his hrud, vak, vapu in what? Vidadan namaste. In the in your devotional service, Jivetayo Mukti Pade Sadaya Bhag. So, who offers obeisances unto you is certainly, such a person is certainly a bona fide candidate for liberation. Mukti Padesa Dayava. So such a jiva, jiveta yo, mukti pade, such a jivatma is fit to get mukti. So what is the condition told here? Who seeks the compassion? Who tolerates all adverse conditions due to the karma of his past deeds. So when a devotee says, oh, I am suffering because I have done a lot of bad karmas, and they just go on doing devotional service, they don't worry. They see that their problems are due to their karma, and their only business is to serve Krishna. Karma is one thing, and serving Krishna is another thing. That's how they see. But if you open the purport of the same verse, Srila Prabhupada says, let me see if I can open it for you. 10th canto, 14th chapter, verse number 8. See here, what Prabhupada writes is that a sincere devotee earnestly desires to go back to Lord's abode. Therefore, he willingly accepts Lord's merciful punishment and continues offering respects and obeisances to the Lord with his heart, words, and body. Such a bona fide servant of the Lord, considering all hardship, a small price to pay for gaining the personal association of the Lord, certainly becomes a legitimate son of God, as indicated here by the words Daya Bhak. Just as one cannot approach the sun without becoming fire, one cannot approach the supreme pure Krishna, Lord Krishna, without undergoing a rigid purificatory process, which may appear like suffering, but which is in fact a curative treatment administered by the personal hand of the Lord. See, it is administered by the personal. So the devotee sees it as Krishna has personally given me this punishment from his own hands. Why? Because in the previous para, Prabhupada explains, although a surrendered devotee to the Lord's devotional service, until he is completely perfect in Krishna consciousness, he may maintain slight inclination to enjoy the false happiness of this world. The Lord therefore creates a particular situation to eradicate this remaining. I don't know the words. No, the remaining, that's what I brought here. This unhappiness suffered by a sincere devotee is, see this, note this line, this unhappiness suffered by a sincere devotee is not technically a karmic reaction. Then what is it? It is rather Lord's special mercy for inducing his devotee to completely let go of the material world and return back home, back to Godhead. See here, what is Prabhupada saying? That this is not karma. This actually not karma. This is technically not karmic reaction. In a devotee's life, means in all of your life, whoever is in the call here, in all of your life and in my life and in any initiated devotee's life, if we come across any pain, a devotee's duty is to see to it as it's my karma, I am suffering. But in fact, it is not karma. It is the special chosen experiences handpicked by the Lord and given to us. Krishna is inducing some of the situations in our life. That is why Prabhupada says in the last line of 10th canto, 14th chapter, verse number 8 purport, listen to the sentence again. Just as one cannot approach the sun without becoming fire, one cannot approach the Supreme Pure Lord Krishna without undergoing a rigid purificatory process. So it's not karma, it's a rigid purificatory process. Then what is it? If it is not karma, what is this rigid purificatory process? Prabhupada continues, which may appear like suffering, but which is in fact a curative treatment administered not by karma, but by the personal hand of the Lord. It is like if we have a lot of homework to do, and we are if imagine, let's all imagine that we are all students of say grade 9 and toppers. Imagine each one of us, let's imagine we are class toppers and we're students of grade 9. And we are given a lot of homework to complete to go to grade 10. That if at all if we were not admitted to the hospital to to get cured from the injury with respect to our hands, very serious injury with respect to hands, so we're not able to write it down. So when such a thing happens, what does the headmistress tell? That, okay, did she do her tests well? Yes, she has done her tests well. Then let her write just basic one question paper's answers. She doesn't have to do all this because she knows it. So when her hand gets cured, just ask her to write the final exams question papers answers. That's enough for her. She doesn't have to write the whole thing which the others are doing to get into grade 10. So now, do we call it as homework? No, it is a special hand-picked um, hand-picked training from the headmistress for a mild revision because we are class toppers. So like that, it's not karma, but it's Krishna given some minimum experiences from our own karma. This is what they say, from our own karma. Krishna has handpicked some things which he thinks is beneficial for us. It's going to cure our material disease and we will get rid of it. See, for example, many of us, we got married instead of becoming sannyasis. Forget about the female bodied souls. Female bodied souls are not made to become a sannyasi in ISKCON. But think about the male bodied souls. So many of us have become grahastas. Why? When we could become sannyasis, why did we become grahastas? The answer is we had a desire. We felt that we are not desire free to only live like a sannyasi. Since we had a desire, we become. But what does Krishna do? He wants our desires to finish. If we are really qualified to go back to Godhead, so he gives us such experiences that we feel by the time we turn 50 or 60 or 70, we feel, ah, I have had enough of experience as a grahastha, as a vanaprastha. All I now want is just serve Krishna's lotus feet. Means they don't have any more desires to enjoy. Then what about the next life when you come as a young man or a young woman? What do you want to do? I just want to serve Krishna. They say, I just want to be in association of devotees and serve devotees and Krishna. So see, because why it happened, why we get bad experiences, devotees, why we get is because Krishna wants us to say enough of this material life. I want to now only serve Krishna. When we come to that kind of attitude, while we are living amidst our own relatives, when we just want to serve Krishna, and all other things we will just do as a seva. Like when a role is given on stage of a wife, a crying wife, we will have to cry. It does not mean that we are very sad. It means we're just doing our role. Like that, we will be just doing our role as grastas, but we will not be identifying ourselves as a husband or a wife, but we will be seeing it as a role given by our master, Krishna, and our business is just to serve him and serve his given people, accepting his given role. When that is the mood and we serve our family and others, then we become qualified, because we're all the time not at all considering our pains and not worrying about our worries. We're only thinking that, okay, they're all a part of our karma. Though it's Krishna given handpicked, we can either call it as Krishna given situation or we can call it karma. Because Krishna actually removes 90% of our karma, handpicks only 10%, and that he gives to us. That also, if we qualify quickly, that also will be removed. That's how Krishna trains. Bhakti, to do other activity, chanting, etc. So, this way, when Krishna is handpicking and giving us, then we understand that Krishna has been very merciful, and to purify us. And so our business is to just continue serving Krishna. And we don't worry about what's happening in our life. We just worry about, in this situation, how now can I serve Krishna? That should be the goal. Let's go back to the previous verse now. 1 minute. No, it was 8 canto. 1 minute. Actually, I'm using my laptop today. That's why I'm okay. I'm opening 8th canto, 4th chapter, verse 13. We just now finished. Now we go to verse 14. Okay. Etan Maha. So Srimad Bhagavatam, canto 8, chapter 4, text 14. Etan Maharaja Tavirito Maya Krishnanubhavo Gajaraja Mokshanam Swargyam Yashasyam Kalikalmashapaham Dushwapnanasham Puruvarya Shunyatam. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 8, Chapter 4, text number 14, translation by Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. My dear King Parishit, I have now described the wonderful power of Krishna as displayed when the Lord delivered the king of the elephants. O best of the Kuru dynasty, those who hear this narration become fit to be promoted to the higher planetary systems. Simply because of hearing this narration, they gain a reputation as devotees. They are unaffected by the contamination of Kali Yuga, and they never see bad dreams. So this is the benefit, what you call it as mahatmya of hearing. What benefit do you get by hearing Gajendra Moksha? This is the benefit that they simply by hearing they get higher planetary systems. They become qualified to go there, and they gain reputation as devotees, and they're not affected by the Kali Kalmasha, the problems of Kali Yuga, and they never see bad dreams. So if we have the problem of bad dreams, we have to entirely read Gajendra's pastime and till he returns back to Godhead. So there's no purport. We move to the next verse, Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 8, Chapter 4, text number 15. Yathanukirtayanti shreyas kama dvijayatah dvijatayah shuchayah prataruthaya dushvapnadi upashantaye. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 8, Chapter 4, text number 15, translation by Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Therefore, after getting up from bed in the morning, those who desire their own welfare, especially the Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and in particular the Brahmana Vaishnavas, should chant this narration as it is, without deviation, to counteract the troubles of bad dreams. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Every verse in the Vedic literature, especially in the Srimad Bhagavatam, and Bhagavad Gita is a Vedic mantra. Here the words Yathanukirtayanti are used to recommend that this literature be presented as it is. Unscrupulous persons, however, deviate from the actual narration and interpret the text in their own way with grammatical jugglery. Such deviations are to be avoided. This Vedic injunction, supported by Shukadeva Goswami, one of the Mahajanas or authorities, he says, Yatha Anukirtayanti, Yathanukirtayanti means one should recite a mantra as it is without deviation. For then, one will be eligible to rise to the platform of all good fortune. Shukadev Goswami especially recommends that those who are Brahmanas, Suchayaha, recite all these mantras after rising from bed in the morning. Because of sinful activities at night, we have bad dreams, which are very troublesome. Indeed, Maharaja Yudhishthira was obliged to see hell because of a slight deviation from devotional service to the Lord. Therefore, the swapna or bad dreams occur because of sinful activities. A devotee sometimes accepts a sinful person as his disciple, and to counteract the sinful reactions he accepts from the disciple, he has to see a bad dream. A devotee sometimes accepts a sinful person as his disciple, and to counteract the sinful reactions he accepts from the disciple, he has to see a bad dream. Nonetheless, the spiritual master is so kind that in spite of having bad dreams, due to the sinful disciple, he accepts this troublesome business for the deliverance of the victims of Kali Yuga. After initiation, therefore, a disciple should be extremely careful not to commit again any sinful activity that might cause difficulties for himself and the spiritual master. Before the deity, before the fire, before the spiritual master, and before the Vaishnavas, the honest disciple promises to refrain from all sinful activity. Therefore, he must not again commit sinful acts and thus create a troublesome situation. So, here in this Mahatmya part, though it is told that Gajendra Moksha pastime must be read if you're getting sinful dreams, bad dreams, which is because of performing sinful activities during the daytime, we get bad dreams. But Prabhupada is saying that not only does the disciple, if at all, such sinful people become disciples of spiritual masters, then Prabhupada says, by accepting such sinful disciples who committed sins, even not only the disciple sees bad dream, even the spiritual master ends up seeing the bad dream. But spiritual masters are compassionate to accept such sinful people for the welfare of the sinful people because it's their compassion. So Prabhupada is requesting all of us to stop sinning from now and to start engaging only in devotional activities so that we may get purified of all sins. Because after taking initiation from the spiritual master, in front of the fire, in front of the spiritual master, in front of the Vaishnavas, after promising to not lead a sinful life, if at all we secretly maintain our sinful lifestyle, then not only we harm ourselves, not only we create trouble for ourselves, but we also create trouble for our spiritual master. That is why Prabhupada says, rather than committing sins and reading Gajendra Moksha pastime to avoid a bad dream, it's better we avoid the sinful activity itself. So now, today, actually my voice has not come back fully. That is why I choose to stop the session with this much only. We complete only up to Canto 8, Chapter 4, text number 15. Means we completed 13, 14, 15. Let me see 16th verse. If there's no purport, I'll read. Let me just see. Oh yeah, it's not there. I'll read this then. I will read so that at least some verses will complete today. So Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 8, Chapter 4, text 16. Idam aha hari prito gajendram kuru sattama shunvatam sarvabhutanam sarvabhutamayo vibhu. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 8, Chapter 4, text 16, translation by Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. O best of the Kuru dynasty, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the super soul of everyone, being thus pleased, addressed Gajendra in the presence of everyone there. He spoke the following blessings. So then we have 17th verse to 24th verse, and let me see the size of the. Oh, there's no purport. Okay, I will read it out for you. Canto 8, Srimad Bhagavatam, Chapter 4, text number 17 to 24. Let's read. This is what the Lord is speaking. Shri Bhagavan Vacha Imam Tvam Charas Chedam Girikandara Kananam Vetrakichakavenunam Gulmani Surapadapan Shrivat Shrungadimani Dishnani Brahmano me Shivasya cha Kshirodam me Priyam Dhama Shvetadvipam cha Bhaswaram Shrivatsam Kaustubham Malam Gatam Kaumodakim Mama Sudarshanam Panchajanyam Suparnam Patageshwaram Shesham Chamatkalam Shukshmam Shriyam Devi Madashrayam Brahmanam Naradam Rishim Bhavam Prahradam Matsya Kurma Varahadyai Avatarai Kritani Me Karmanyananta Punyani Suryam Somam Hutashanam Pranavam Satyam Avyaktam Govipran Dharmam Avyayam Dakshayanir Dharma Patni Somakashyapayorapi Gangam Saraswatim Nandam Kalindim Sitavaranam Dhruvam Brahma Rishim Sapta Punyashlokam Chamanavan Utthaya Pararatrante Prayata Sushamahitaha Smaranti Mama Rupani Muchyante Temsa Kokhilat. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 8, Chapter 4, text 17 to 24, translation by Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, freed from all sinful reactions are those who rise from bed at the end of night, early in the morning, and fully concentrate their minds with great attention upon my form, your form, this lake, this mountain, the caves, the gardens, the cane plants, the bamboo plants, the celestial trees, the residential quarters of me, Lord Brahma, and Lord Shiva. The three peaks of Trikuta mountain made of gold, silver, and iron. My very pleasing abode, the ocean of milk, the white island, Shvetadvipa, which is always brilliant with spiritual rays. My mark of Srivatsa, the Kaustuba gem, my Vaijayanti garland, my club Kaumodaki, my Sudarshana disc and Panchajanya conch shell, my bearer, Garuda, the king of the birds, my bed, Sheshanaga, my expansion of energy and goddess of fortune, Lord Brahma, Narada Muni, Lord Shiva, Prahlada, my incarnations like Matsya, Kurma, Varaha, my unlimited, all auspicious activities which yield piety to him who hears them, the sun, the moon, fire, the mantra Omkara, the absolute truth, the total material energy, the cows and brahmanas, devotional service, the wives of Soma and Kashyapa, who are all daughters of King Daksha, the river Ganga, Saraswati, Nanda, and Yamuna, Kalindi, the elephant Airavata, Dhruva Maharaj, the seven rishis, and the pious human beings. So you see, Supreme Personality of Godhead is saying that freed from all sinful reactions are those. Means if we do meditation on all these things, imagining the picture of this Gajendra Moksha with all these people, then we will be freed from all sinful reactions. So when should we meditate? As soon as we rise from bed and at the end of night. Early in the morning, we should fully concentrate our mind with great attention on Lord's supreme form, on Gajendra's form, on the lake, on the mountain, on the caves, gardens, the entire scenery around, and Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, and the mountain there, and the Shweta Dvipa, and Lord's different, things that he's holding in his hand, what he's wearing on his neck. uh, and we should also focus on his bearer, Garuda. We should also remember his Sheshana, sleeping bed. And we should also not forget to remember his dear devotees like Prahlad Maharaj. We should also remember his Matsya Kurma Varaha avatars. And we should also remember Lord's all auspicious activities, and we should also remember the sun, moon, fire, and mantra Omkara, which are all Krishna's forms, he says actually. Uh, so when we do all this, and we should also remember the wives of Chandra and Kashyap, they're all daughters of Daksha. We should remember them also. And we should remember these rivers, very pious rivers, like auspicious rivers like Ganga, Saraswati, Nanda, Yamuna. We should also remember the elephant Airavata, Dhruva Maharaj, Saptarishis, and the pious human beings, and then we will be freed from all sinful reactions, and there's no purport for this. So now I think we can, let me see the 25th verse. If it has a purport, it doesn't have. 26th, 26th also doesn't have. Okay, there it ends. So let me complete that chapter. So, Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 8, Chapter 4, text number 25. Ye mam stunvantyani pratibudhya nishatyaye tesham pranatyaye chaham dadami vipulam gatim. So Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 8, Chapter 4, Text 25, translation by Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. My dear devotee, unto those who rise from bed at the end of night and offer me the prayers offered by you, I give an eternal residence in the spiritual world at the end of their lives. You see? This is very important. There's no purport. This is very important for us. If you really want to go back to Godhead, then we should learn Gajendra Moksha, Gajendra's prayers by heart. Do we have to by heart? No. Because Krishna says, Srimad Bhagavatam says, that if at all we offer the prayers offered by Gajendra every day when we rise from our bed in the morning. every day, if we just sit on the bed and recite the entire Gajendra's prayers, and then we proceed to brush our teeth, take a bath, etc. Every day, if we do from now till we leave the body, till at least we are in consciousness, if we do it, then we get eternal residence in the spiritual world. Do we have to buy it? No. We need to tell it daily once. When you tell daily, it becomes by heart automatically. So we don't even have to buy heart. Just get it printed on a paper. Every day morning you read as soon as you get up. Then you will get eternal residence in the spiritual world. Means you will be going back to Godhead. What a benediction. This is very nice. See, some benedictions are for materialists, promising different kinds of opulence to live in the material world. But some are for devotees. This is for devotees. We want to go back to Godhead, then this is one way. We can just recite the Gajendra Moksha prayers. And I don't know if you have access to our gaurangadarshanadas.com or whatever. I don't know what the website name. Or Gauranga Darshan Prabhu has his website. I guess there his recitation of Gajendra Moksha prayers may be there. For us, Bhakti Vaibhava, Bhakti Vedanta students, we have got some of his recitations. I may also be having, but at least when we do 8th canto, he will give that time. I can give it to you all also. So if you even play it daily and you hear it, gradually you will get it by heart. Srimad Bhagavatam, there's no purport for this. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 8, Chapter 4, Text 26. Shri Shuka Uvacha Iti Adishya Rishikesha Pradmaya Jalajotamam Harshayan Vibudhanikam Aruroha Kagadipam. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 8, Chapter 4, Text 26, translation by Srila Prabhupada. Sri Shukadev Goswami continued, after giving this instruction, the Lord, who is known as Rishikesha, bugled with his Panchajanya conch shell in this way, pleasing all the demigods headed by Lord Brahma. Then he mounted the back of his carrier, Garuda. So you see, after, there's no purport, after giving this instruction, that what are the benefits? See, he's so happy with Gajendra. The Lord is so happy with Gajendra that he wants all of us to imagine, the scene. We want to meditate on the scene with Gajendra included, with Lord, with the mountains, the surroundings, everything according to Lord is very, very dear. So it is very auspicious place, that whole place. So we are expected to even meditate on the place. So then we got, then they said that we get so many benefits in that particular verse. But next verse said you simply have to recite the shloka. Now here, the Lord, after speaking all those benefits of reciting Gajendra's prayers, then he blows his Panchajanya. And everybody feels very happy hearing him blow the conch shell. And then he boards on his carrier Garuda and he goes back to Godhead. So then, thus end the Bhaktivedanta purports of 8th canto, 4th chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled Gajendra Returns to the Spiritual World. So with this, now we can start the question answer session. If you have any comments or questions, thank you. Thank you, Surinder Prabhuji. If you have any questions or comments, you are most welcome. I can speak for another 20 minutes. Then I want to save my voice as I have just getting my voice back. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. I have one question.
Yes, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Please.
So, Do we recite the whole chapter for the prayer? What are we?
No. Gajendra Moksha, when Gajendra prays, actually, once Gajendra gets the darshan of Lord Vishnu, he starts to pray. So that I do not have my Subodhini. You have Canto 8 Subodhini with you? Okay, you have, just give me. Right now, I'm asking my daughter for her copy. 1 minute. So in that, I will tell you which verse to which verse. It's not the whole chapter.
Okay.
Actually, Gajendra glorifies the Lord. So if I can see which is that verse, then I can tell you. Careful. Bhakti. Yeah. Thank you very much. So this is the Subodhini of Canto 8. I'll just open chapter 4. Chapter 3. Chapter 3, Gajendra's prayers of surrender. So let me see in which verse Gajendra's prayers. So prayers of Gajendra is from verse 1 to verse 29 of chapter 3. Not the whole chapter. Whole chapter is, oh yeah, whole chapter is, it is a whole chapter actually. 1 to 29 means it is full, that's the last verse actually. That's the last, yes, you have to recite the whole third chapter.
Canto.
Third chapter of 8, Canto 8, chapter 3, Gajendra's prayers of surrender. So I too will be reading it just for my curiosity because I heard that he says that Lord is not lazy, he's very quick. And I just wanted to go over those lines. So I heard like that, so I too will be reading it. But you already covered that, so you can read it by yourself daily. Then you'll get it by heart. 29 verses. 29 verse, if you recite daily, within 30 days, you'll get it by heart. Just like how we got national anthem by heart. Oh, no, it's only up to 29th verse. Then 30 to 33, verse 30 to 33 is Lord Hari saves Gajendra. So only up to the 29th verse. It's not full chapter. Full chapter runs up to the 33rd verse. So you have to read only up to 29, but it's as good as one chapter. So you have to you have to read 29 verses. Just like we get national anthem by heart, by just reciting once in the school every day when we are small children. Every child gets by heart just by reciting one time. Same way, if you do daily recitation one time, you just recite nicely, record it, and hear it daily. In 1-2 months, you will get it, you will become familiar. Then you start reciting along with this, then you'll get by heart. So it's worth it. The Lord will be very happy. Better is that you know the meaning also nicely. So you read the chapter again and again. It's very good. It's Gajendra's prayers of surrender. So it's very good. You read again and again, learn it, and then recite.
And
I
it
hope that helps.
doesn't have to be in the morning, right? It could be anytime or.
In the morning, as soon as you get up from bed. See, as soon as we get up, as we grow old, then we are told, don't spring from the bed. Let the circulation happen properly. So you sit down peacefully, recite 29 verses. Oh, that will take, I don't know, that may take 29 minutes. But this is what is told here. The Lord says, you see in the verse, Lord is saying that Bhagavan is giving mighty devotee unto those who rise from bed at the end of the night and offer me the prayers offered by you. I give an eternal residence in the spiritual world at the end of their lives. So, as soon as they rise, means Pratibuddhya, getting up, Nisha Atyatye, at the end of the night. At the end of the night means early morning, if you get up, that is the end of the night because night is still going on, which means it's not after you brush and take a bath and sunlight is coming in, not at that time. Just at the end of the night, at that time, if you will recite this verse,
Prana Atyaye, at the time of death, when we leave the body, Dadami Vipulam, Dadami is give, Vipulam, the eternal, unlimited, Gatim, transferal to spiritual world. The most eternal thing, the unlimited thing you're going to get, that is the place in a home in back to God. We all earn so much. Why? To build a house. We spend so much money to build a house. But this is our earning to recite the prayers of Gajendra to earn a home in the spiritual world free of cost. We're not expected to do anything else. Just the prayers. We go back to God. That's what is told. So we can try to do that if possible. Otherwise, it's all right. You just be all the time. Otherwise, you have to keep saying, Krishna, you are my master. Please engage me in your service throughout the day. If we can be in this mood and do all the duties, seeing all the duties as Krishna's service throughout the day and doing it to please Krishna and not breaking the rules as far as possible, except when you have to break the lower rule for a higher rule, except at that time. Otherwise, we follow all the rules for pleasing our Supreme Master Krishna. If we live like that morning to night, then there's no need to recite this in the morning. But this is one way to go back to Godhead. If we are always living to just simply fulfill the order of spiritual master, simply living only for that. But we are doing all that cooking, cleaning, driving, going to job, training children, students, whatever we will be doing. But we should be doing all that as as a service to Krishna, because it is Krishna given service, using Krishna given body, using Krishna given energy and intelligence and wealth. If we are doing it to please Krishna, do throughout the day, we have the recited by Gajendra. Just as for Gajendra's prayers, Lord came, for our daily prayers, Lord is going to offer us a place in his home. I hope that helps. Hare Krishna.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Mataji, I have a question following that question. Should we
Yes,
recite
please.
both? Should we recite both in Sanskrit and English, both, or just English?
See, English means whatever I recited was English. Like when I say Shri Shuka Uvacha Iti Adishya Rishi Kesha, this is English text, but it is Sanskrit. It's not, I'm not meaning the translation. It is meaning the shloka, the verses, because translation, when Lord Vishnu spoke, he only heard the Sanskrit verses. He did not hear the English translation. So what he is meaning is to recite the shloka. But if you are reciting the shloka and the English translation, it's all the more better, but you may have to spend 1 hour per day for that only. Because
No,
initially it may take 1 hour and later on you may do it in 10, 15 minutes maybe.
So then we just do the shloka, the Sanskrit shloka is
Enough.
what should be
But you should
recited.
know the meaning in your mind.
Right,
Knowing the
right,
meaning
right.
if you recite, then that is good enough.
Okay.
Knowing the meaning is easy. How you read the word to word. When in the beginning days, read the word to word or record with word to word. And when you hear that for a few days, then you will get familiar with the meaning. And then make another recording without the word to word and just hear your translations. I hear your the shloka recitation of Sanskrit shloka. And then you will be meditating on the meanings as well. And then you will get it by heart. You can recite along with your recitation. Then you won't need the recitation. You yourself will be able to recite nicely. So you can learn. It's going to be it's going to start our day with the mood of surrender. See what I told you. Either we have to spend morning to night thinking, oh my dear master, my dear Krishna, how much you have done for me. Now it's time that I start doing something for you. So I'm brushing my teeth for serving you better. I'm taking a bath for serving you better.
I'm wearing clean dress for serving you better. I'm cooking for serving you better. I'm driving to serve you better. I'm going to office to serve you better. I'm going to work at home to serve you better. Let's for every single activity that too, instead of saying I am doing this, you can say, please empower me to do this to serve you better. Is to serve in a way it pleases you. Please empower me to serve you in a way it pleases you. Like this, if we can ask blessings throughout the day, this is also surrender. Gajendra spoke the prayers of surrender, but if we are from morning to night only doing activities in a prayerful mood to please Krishna, that is also surrender. Surrender of our body, life, energy, talent, mood, everything is in favor of Krishna. That's also surrender. So either we are reciting the prayers of surrender or we are living the life of surrender. So both of them will take us back home, back to Godhead. So whichever way, but when you're simply reciting prayers and not knowing the meaning, that's not a great thing because yes, medicine will have an impact even if we don't know the ingredients. But to know the ingredients and take medicine is always very much confidence giving. If we are making a kada or what we call kashaya, when we know, oh, okay, it has ginger, it has lemon, and it has honey, it's going to help me get cured. When we think like that and drink, we feel happy. We're doing it from our heart. Like that, if we know the meaning and recite, then we do it from the heart, and that makes us live a life of surrender from morning to evening over a period of time, because these prayers are going to auto hypnotize our brain to do our activities in this way as desired by Gajendra. So it is like Tattat Karma Pravartanat says in Nectar of Instructions, means it is like follow Shatovrte, it's like following in the footsteps of the great Acharyas. Gajendra is also a great teacher, a great pure devotee. So to follow in his footsteps is great. That is, we should mold our life in such a way, our mentality in such a way that we do all activities from morning to night as an offering to Krishna. And this is the life of surrender, and this is going to take us, not only take us back to God, but this is going to ensure that the life is going to turn miraculously in a magical way. If you just live a life of surrender from morning to evening, you will see magical things, miraculous things happening every day, and you will see how we are transferred from one level to another mentally, and how we are put also in different circumstances, and how we are given very different sevas which we cannot even imagine. But it will happen if we live a life of surrender. You will see all these miracles happening in your life. I am trying and I'm seeing so much already in the beginning stages. So I know if we progress in this direction, a lot more is going to happen. So somehow or the other, we have to live a life of surrender. And the best way to remind ourselves is to start with Gajendra's prayers. I hope that helps. Hare
Yes,
Krishna.
thank you, Mataji. Thank you.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna.
Mataji. Hare Krishna, Mataji. Dandavat Pranam. What a
Dandavat
wonderful
Pranam.
class, Mataji. Like always, when you start speaking, I don't want you to stop. I just feel like listening to you. It should be non-stop. It's that good, Mataji. So many points to take away. One that really touched my heart was Krishna gives you trials and tribulations uh, in your life, but that's just his mercy, special mercy on devotees. And Mataji, I was going through some very like serious issues in my life, and that's when a devotee asked me to chant Gajendra Moksha every day. And like you said, it doesn't take me more than 15 minutes. And initially, it did take me long, but like you said, it just fits in your memory, like you just memorize it in a short time. You will memorize it, and then it's not that difficult. And by then you also develop that craving to chant every day. So, Mataji, my question is: you said that all our activities should be to please Krishna. So, I am a teacher. How should I teach? Like, how should this profession? Like, I know that I'm going to. I tell myself I'm going to teach, and whatever money I make out of it, I'm gonna use it in service. But Mataji, how is job? Like, how can a job be a like service? Mataji, can you please help me understand?
Um, First of all, thank you very much, dear Mataji, for your very lovingly motivating words. And it's all by the mercy of Guru, Gauranga, Prabhupada, and Srimad Bhagavatam itself. Srimad Bhagavatam is so beautiful that we read every day a lot of it. Then Srimad Bhagavatam starts speaking to us and we understand better. And so, by the mercy of Prabhupada, by the mercy of Bhagavatam, we will be able to explain things. And by the mercy of devotees, Dattenu Kampam Sushamikshamano, that's the verse that you liked. That is quoted so many times in ISKCON. Anyway, the answer to your question is how is teaching material education going to be pleasing Krishna? The answer is yes, partially you are correct because if we want to do bhakti yoga, then there are fixed activities. That is Shravana, Kirtana, Smarana, Vandana, Pada Sevana, Dasyari. पूजन सखी जना आत्मनिवेदन गोविंद दास लाशरी. So there are 9 activities which are purely devotional. Hearing, Shravanam, Kirtanam, speaking, glorifying, Smaranam, remembering whatever we have heard from Srimad Bhagavatam, Smaranam, Vandana, worshipping the Lord, Pujana means Archanam actually. Shravana Kirtana Smarana Vandana. Pada Sevana. This Lakshmi Devi does the massaging of lotus feet of Lord Vishnu. We can do the massage of the lotus feet of our deities whom we worship. Padasevana, Archanam is offering flowers. Pujana Sakijana means Sakyam, means like Arjuna was with Krishna, a friend, serving Krishna as a friend. Sakijana, Dasya is to be a servant of the Lord. Pujana Sakijana, Atmanivedana is to surrender all our activities for the pleasure of Krishna, our entire body, the wealth we have, the intelligence, that all for Krishna. Now, in connection to this, we can go to Bhagavad Gita 9 chapter verse number 27. It says, Yat karoshi yadashnasi. Yat karoshi means whatever you do. The teacher professions comes there. Atmanivedanam means Atmanivedanam is a service you are doing. Why? Because it's a designation of a teacher. Krishna has sanctioned it for whatever desire we have. Krishna sometimes sanctions even material jobs because if we think we need it, he says, okay, you keep that money, you do that work. So that way he gives. So when he has anyway given, then we do it for the pleasure of Krishna. This job is given to me. You have to just replace the school's name by Lord Krishna, the Supreme Personality of God. Suppose if the school name is the Indian High School, Dubai, then you have to say the Supreme Personality of God at school. That's all. Then you see your boss, like a principal or the head of the department, you replace their personality with Supreme Personality of God. You think that they are appointed by your boss Krishna, which means actually serving them is like serving Krishna. You think that they are Krishna given people, and then whatever orders they give, you accept. If they don't give you increment in spite of you doing hard work, if they give increment to someone else who is not doing any work, just say Krishna sanctioned it this way through the Krishna given person. So I have no complaints. Tattenu kampam susamikshamano. I have no complaints about the increment that is not coming. It is only my karma. Means It's Krishna's handpicked karma experience he's giving me. But my business is to go on as a teacher, go on as a wife or a mother at home or a daughter at home, like that. So we see that post, and then while teaching, Prabhupada says in perfect question, perfect answer. He was telling how a science teacher can teach in a Krishna conscious way. He says that when you say that H2O becomes water, you should say two molecules of hydrogen and one molecule of oxygen. When they merge together, it becomes a molecule of water. But then he's Prabhupada is saying, Prabhupada is saying, but you see in the ocean, there's so much water. Where from did this many tons of hydrogen and this many tons of oxygen come that they merged and formed so much water? Where from? Who supplied it? That is Krishna. He is the one who is the creator of hydrogen, who is the creator of oxygen. He is the one who has created water in this proportion. So it has become like that. So, like that, you have to include Krishna. Prabhupada says. But that probably I was thinking, okay, for this Prabhupada taught how to speak. Then how I will explain nitrogen? How I'll explain carbon? I was just thinking like that. But then I understood it's not like that. It's just when you teach in between, whenever possible, you can remind the students of Krishna by saying when students say, "Ma'am, you taught this very nicely." It's all Supreme Lord's blessings, my dear children. Supreme Lord, because they may not like if you pick the name of Krishna. So Supreme Lord's blessings, like this we can say, and we can think that these children are Krishna given children who are in front of us. So we put our hearts and we teach the children so that they understand. And I was a computer teacher in a school once upon a time. For 6 years, I taught grade 1, grade 2, grade 3, because my daughter also was going to LKG in the same school. So I wanted to be with her, like Paramatma wants to be with us wherever we go. I ensured that I was always with my daughter in her school there in Dubai. And when I came to India, she went to another school. There also, I went and joined as a moral science teacher, means just to teach value education. So like that, and in value education means I went and taught only Radheshyam Prabhu's books, contents I taught. And value education books are there in ISKCON, that I would teach. So you can also go through some of the value education contents, whatever subject you are teaching. Sometimes the children will come up with some complaints, etc. So you can speak the values, like how we train our children by explaining what's right and what is wrong. So, like that, if we can remind them of Krishna, means we have to always see these children are given by Krishna. Suppose if they were our own biological children who were there in front, how would we teach science? How would we teach maths? We would teach science the way science is supposed to be taught. Then we would also remind them of Krishna. So, here, this may be a school where all religions come, it may not be a Hindu school. So, in that case, you can say God. Supreme Lord, Lord. You can just say like that. All Lord's, all God's blessings, like that. So when they see you, they should get a feeling that you are a very pious person. And they should feel from your behavior as if they're meeting a holy person. And in your dealings, you treat them in a nice way, remembering they're Krishna's children, and in a motivating way, remembering they're Krishna's children, not knowing, we do not know what all suffering each child may be undergoing. Each one will have their own sufferings. So the suffering souls have come to us, all of them, so many of them, with so many problems. At least if we are nice, then they will have a hope when they come to school. They'll say, think that today I'll meet that man. She'll come during this particular hour and she will teach. So they should feel so good to see you. They should feel so good to be in your class. Like that. Like that, if you can make them feel. I used to do that for my computer students. In grade 1, I still remember they had lesson 1, and first time they're coming to my class, and I'm supposed to teach them first lesson. And it said that what are the rules to follow in a computer lab. So I saw all the rules and I made it into a poem. And then I sang for them. Yes, children, You're welcome. We'll be singing Computer Lab today. But before that, you will sing a song. Do you like to sing a song? Yes, they say. Yes, they say. Then you say, okay, walk in a line and keep quiet. Then they repeat, walk in a line and keep quiet. Don't push the tables. Don't touch the cables. Keep the computer room neat and clean. This one I will sing and they repeat. I make them sing this song 4, 5 times. They get it by heart. Then I say, your first lesson is over. Now this is how you should go. In the next class, thank you, Surinder Prabhuji. The next class, I take them to the lab. And then I say, see, I had told you that you should walk in a line. So now come on, walk in a line and keep quiet. Other classes are going on. Keep quiet. And then you see, don't pull the cables. You get a shock. Like that. Like they say, and then you know what happened? Like this very child who passed through first standard. I would deal with 10 sections, 10 periods of first standard, 10 sections of second. Even in second standard, first lesson, I made a poem. So what happened? Whenever they see me, Kapita ma'am, not one or two, the whole class of students. I just have to pass, and they will all wave, wave their hands. I was feeling even a cinema celebrity may not get this kind of hand waving, now. But this happened because I saw them as Krishna's children and Krishna given job. I didn't teach anything about God there, but I put my heart into it and I taught in a way it's not a burden. And I ensured that nobody failed in my subject. I would only go and see who are not able to do and then make them guide them step by step to do how to open a file, how to draw an arc in paintbrush, how to make a square, like that. Once we hold their fingers and with love, when we hold their hand also, hold their hand with love, and then I just touch their cheek and say, "You did it, very good." They feel so good that the teacher checked my cheek. Maybe if they're not good at studies, no other teacher will do that. But they're first standard, grade 1 children, grade 2 children, they're very small. They need to be pampered. So, what the children need, suppose they are bigger children, what do they need? They need some values, they need some clarity. Their life has enough confusion. So, like that, little here and there, if we are guiding them nicely, what is related to their life and about the subject, giving them full attention, lovingly, seeing them as Krishna given people, Krishna given job, with the heart of gratitude. If you're dealing, they will feel that they're meeting someone saintly, they're meeting someone Lord's person. That much is enough. If they remember Lord when they see you, that means you're always reminding them of Lord. That's enough. In fact, I wouldn't even remind them of Lord because my classes would be just 30 minutes and I was not their class teacher. I was only computer teacher and only 30 minutes in a week I get because I had to handle 27 different batches, 26, 10 of grade 1, 10 of grade 2 and 6 of grade 3. So what would happen is in that 45 minutes, they spend 5, 10 minutes to come to class only from their classes and to the computer lab. And then we have to leave them at the bell, So, and we have to personally go and show them how to use the computer, etc. So I would not have any time to talk about God, but I treated them as God's children. So I felt happy. That's one way. But if you are teaching them, reminding them of God, that is a greater way. That's a better way. Because Prabhupada told about H2O. So wherever possible, if you can bring in God, then that is very grand. Like when we speak Big Bang Theory, if we have to say, if the two things bang and it got created, who made them bang? Who created the two things first? How can something come out of nothing? So these things, maybe there was a kind of a bang, and maybe they say for single cell and all that. So even we have in Shastras that single cells and living beings are there, and then the living beings which are having some hands and legs, which are having more legs, which are having less legs. So different categories of animals with different number of legs. So we have it's somewhere science translates to Bhagavatam creation thing, means yes, something is there. But all these religions, we can say all the religions say God created, but science is finding a way, like it's trying to discover how God might have created. Only problem with science is that they miss the God element. They only see the creation part of it. They don't think who is there, who allowed these things to happen, who made these things to happen. So, like this, when we talk about in a bigger classes, we can mention the name of God and remind them of God. We can be very loving and respectful, seeing them as Krishna's people. And that way, we can be Krishna conscious. And then we say, Krishna, this my service of teaching is an offering to you. I'm just going because you've given a job, and I'm doing it because you have given a job. And I'm trying to do it in a best possible way because you have given the job. So please accept all these services of mine, Krishna, as an offering to you. This is called as dovetailing, means though it's not directly devotional service, but we are making any material activity also get connected to Krishna by seeing it as Krishna given activity in the Krishna's created material world for those souls who have material body, so that they too will be able to maintain their material body by earning some material wealth, by learning the material education called avidya. Everything is as per direction of the Lord, has been invented as per direction of the Lord. So I am just an instrument of Krishna to help the souls who have come to the material school to learn material education. My business is to help them by trying to make them understand so that my master Krishna will be happy when I deal with his created children in a nice way while I teach them the subject as a teacher. In this way, in this conscious, when we teach, in this way for every single activity, any single activity, we should see it as Krishna given situation. Once, when we are coming from our home to another place, it was a bit late, and the cab driver was appearing very suspicious. He was turning to my daughter and talking with extra interest. He was turning to me also and talking with extra interest. And then he started asking, "Oh, you're Krishna devotees?" And we said, "Yes." And then he asked some question, and I used the opportunity to answer the question in a 1 hour answer. Means I did one full pravachan for him. And, and finally, he stopped seeing us in that way. He heard and he started discussing his life's difficulties. He has a girlfriend, how to marry, what to do. Then I said, Shastrically, what you should do as per Shastras is you should take the parents' permission. And no, they are not, a father does not give permission, only mother is accepting this all. Then I said, okay, then you have to see an auspicious day and marry. Like that. I could counsel him, seeing him as Krishna sent person. I know this person is not fully perfect, but he may even take us to different place than where we want to go. But if we teach him how to go back to Godhead, then he will definitely take us to the destination where we want to go. So I just taught him how to go back to Godhead. Seeing him as if Krishna sent this person today for me and for my daughter, then Krishna is expecting my service to him because he deserves it the most, because he does not know how to deal with women. So, like this, I saw him as Krishna sent person, and I spoke to him gravely about the conclusions of the Shastras. Then he said, "Then what should I do now?" Then I said, "Yes, you can marry. She likes you now. Yeah, she loves me. I also love her. Okay, then you should marry. They don't permit, okay, what can be done? Go to a temple and take care of her, marry and take care of her nicely. Does your parents accept? Yeah, they accept. Then it's all right. What can be done? Like this. Like this, we counsel. Then by the time then we reach the destination, and we thank Krishna for helping us. We were not troubled in any way like that. So, in any circumstance, what to speak of teaching, any circumstance, if the person in front is good or bad, just see them, even if he's appearing as a um, very different kind of person whom we really don't want to deal with if given an option. But when we are forced to deal with the person, like we're traveling in his own cab or his own vehicle, and we have no option, and then we have to see it as Krishna given situation and be as prayerful and beg the Lord, how now in this situation should I do my service in a way that I am safe and I can continue to be Krishna conscious. Beg his blessings and do whatever is needed based on whatever circumstances are pushing us to do. But do it in a way it pleases Krishna by begging Krishna. This way, our traveling, even in a cab, can become devotional activity. This is called as dovetailing. This is to the extent that I know and I have understood and I have applied, I could explain. I do not know beyond this, dear Mataji, about how to answer your question. Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Really appreciate. Dandavat pranam.
Dandavat pranams. Hare Krishna. Okay, so is there any more questions or shall we wind up today? If you have questions, you can ask. Then we will close the session. We spoke a long time today.
Hare Krishna Mataji, my Danat Pranam to you. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. Nice to see you, nice to hear you, and I hope your voice comes back fully. And we pray that you have good health. So, Mataji, like for the prayers, it's mentioned that it says that for the bad dream, right? You have to say the this Gajendra prayers if you get bad dreams. So
No,
okay.
no. Gajendra prayers, you're supposed to recite daily to get a seat in back to God, to go back home, back to Godhead. But the entire Gajendra's pastime, you should, I think you should remember what was it told? That if you do, then you will not get bad dream. Let me check 1 minute.
Yeah.
I have to open this. I'm using my laptop. 1 minute. It says after giving instruction, not this verse. I tell you 1 minute.
And of course, we understand that Gajendra offered prayers and he went back with the Lord. So it's
it is if you,
go back to
if you,
God.
yes. No, here you will be freed from sinful reactions if you meditate on the scene. Okay, as explained in Canto 8, Chapter 4, text number 17 to 24. It says if you want to be free from sinful reaction, then those who rise from bed at the end of night, early in the morning, on what all you should concentrate. Just here to concentrate. Meditate. That is, if you want to free from all sinful activities. But if you want to not get bad dreams, then it is this one. I tell you, it is written here. Therefore, after getting up from bed in the morning, those who desire their own welfare, especially the Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and in particular the Brahmana Vaishnavas, should chant this narration as it is without deviation to counteract the troubles of bad dreams. Getting up from the bed in the morning. So you have to recite the whole 2 chapters, I guess.
Okay.
See, you have to should chant this narration. This narration means what? The whole thing. Whole. See, previous verse speaks that. My
Yes.
dear, this is 15th verse. This is 8.4.14 and 15 you can read. 8.4.14 says, My dear King Parishit, I have now described the wonderful power of Krishna as displayed when the Lord delivered the king of the elephants. O best of the Kuru dynasty, those who hear this narration become fit to be promoted to higher planetary systems. Simply because of hearing this narration, they gain reputation as devotees. They are unaffected by the contamination of Kali Yuga
and they never see bad dreams. If you hear this narration, it is told, if you hear this narration, you don't never see bad dreams. But next verse says you should recite this daily to not see bad dreams. See? Therefore, after getting up from bed in the morning, those who desire their own welfare, especially Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and in particular Brahmana Vaishnavas, should chant this narration as it is without deviation to counteract the troubles of bad dreams. So it means the whole Gajendra Moksha, you have to chant the narration. That's what it says.
Yes, not
So
only to counteract the bad dreams, but otherwise also.
if you
It
just
also
want to go back to bed,
yeah, it take care of bad dream also. You go back to a lot of benefits are there. So Mataji, when it says end of the night, what time do we understand by the end of the night? Is it 2 o'clock, 2 a.m.? When does the
no, you
night?
can put it as Brahma Muhurta.
4 o'clock.
Yeah, 1.5 hour before your sunrise time.
Okay. Yeah, Mataji.
Whatever is your sunrise, 1.5 hour before that.
Okay.
Means when you wake up.
Yeah. Because sometimes the time is not fixed when we get up, like,
And it is told bad dreams will come only if we commit sinful activities. If we don't commit sinful activities, then we don't get. So I don't think devotees will regularly get any bad dreams. It's should be a very occasional thing. So very occasional, especially because it's told also spiritual masters will get bad dreams because disciples are committing sins. So when our children commit mistakes, we get 50%. So we get our sins knowingly or unknowingly. When we commit mistakes, also we are deserving sins. But if we read the whole thing, whole Gajendra's pastimes, then we will not get bad dreams.
Yeah. So
But
Mataji,
you know what? Yes. Yes.
yeah, I just want to think, for any sinful propensities we have committed in the past or previous life, when we start following the process of bhakti, then suppose there's another person with me who's not doing bhakti. So the sinful propensities, or like the punishment, I can call it, the punishment that comes, which I face and the other person faces on a different level altogether.
Yes. You will get only 10%, they get a full 100%.
Okay. So there's advantage of doing bhakti, because then, it's like
90% discount.
90%.
And 10%, that to 10% is handpicked by Krishna and given to us so that we get rid of this sinful tendency only completely.
Yeah.
If you notice in any sincere devotee's life, everybody here in this call are sincere. So it's for each one of you and for me. If we notice, we are actually sincere devotees. So when we are sincere devotees, whatever attachments we had, now we don't have. Why we don't have? Because Krishna gave us such experiences through the 10% of karma that now we are no more attached. We are just doing our seva only
Yeah.
in many things. So now you may think that, oh, but I have got no attachment now. Out of 10 things, I lost attachment for 7 things, but 3 things I still have attachment. Wait and watch. That 3 also will go away. Wherever we are attached, that will go away. That's one thing. And second thing is about the bad dreams. For you devotees, for me, why should we waste time thinking about the bad dreams? Bad dreams are at that time. If it is really spoiling our sleep every day, then yeah, Gajendra Moksha we can recite and we can take out that time. Otherwise, that precious time we can do our good 16 rounds. Because we may not be able to include many things like that. Only Gajendra's prayers you can do. It is just 10-15 minutes time you will have to spend at the most. If you are feeling that you are not able to live a real Krishna conscious life, then that 15 minutes you can take out in the morning to remember just Gajendra's prayers, that is 29 verses. But if you're going to recite the whole thing, then it will be 2 to 3 chapters, wherever, how much ever Gajendra's topic came, all those chapters you have to read daily. Then you will not get bad dreams. That's the meaning. Then why should we worry so much about bad dreams? Let the bad dream come and go. Let us, if our focus is just going back to just pleasing Krishna, if our focus is just pleasing second chapter, Elephant Gajendra says third chapter, And this is 4 chapters. You have to read 4 chapters daily if you want to get rid of bad dreams. But second, third, and fourth, yeah. But suppose if you will focus only on my life scene, night dreams, whatever Krishna wants, let him give. I will be happy with whatever dreams Krishna will give me. But in the daytime, oh my dear master, use me the way you like me to be used. Please engage me in your service. Every single activity, material or spiritual, make it dovetailed in a way that you are very happy the way I do it. So please empower me to do it in a way it pleases you. If in this way, throughout the day, if you are thinking, this is the most beautiful surrender, is the most beautiful way to surrender. We are only thinking of anukulyasya sankalpa, means what is favorable to Krishna, only that we are focusing. And we are not even doing anything which is not favorable to Krishna. We are not even thinking of that. We're only thinking of how to use every single minute in a way it pleases Krishna. If we are living a life of that kind, if we get dreams, we can just ignore it. Now, for so many spiritual masters, they may get bad dreams because of the disciples' sins. But do you think they will have the time to spend reading all 3 chapters in the morning every day? They will be focused on doing devotional service, japa, or maybe their deity worship, and many things like that. So, this is what I feel, dear Mataji, that we don't have to
Thank
worry
you so
so much. You, especially you, don't have to worry about bad dreams.
No, Mataji.
You,
I,
somebody comes.
but one point in life, I had to worry because, when I was, I have not been vegetarian in my life in the beginning.
There's some
So I dreams
um,
when I was, but never eaten beef and all that, just like chicken or whatever they eat. So what happened that I went to one Pandit ji in Delhi, and he says, "Aap non-veg chhod dijiye." So when I
mm.
actually my dreams went away because I was heart which was more compassionate, and I was getting less karma. So then, I when I was reading these verses, I was remembering that, that's also another form of devotional service to become vegetarian, and that helped me. So here also, Lord is trying to tell us like that. And one point in your class was so good. Like you mentioned that you should think that you're in a drama and you're playing a role. It does not matter whether you're sannyasi or you're a grahastha. You do the role, whatever you are there. So that is teaching us, like my father used to always tell me, that don't be attached to things and things of this world. When we are growing older, very pious soul. So I was thinking that that leads us to detachment. Actually, we do our duty perfectly and then spend time with Krishna. Just like we hear that, we think of Krishna as a paramour, so quickly you do all the things best and then you spend time with Krishna. So in those contexts, I was thinking, and I had gone to a different world altogether. I was when you were talking about this particular point, and it's not coming to my mind. I said, Mataji said that, and I'm saying, remember it throughout the day, that I should do my duty best, cook the best, clean the house, everything, and at the same time be detached from it. Because get attached to Krishna. Our main duty is that, okay, maine ye duty kara, I've cooked for my husband, Krishna, this I'm giving to you actually, but I'm doing to them. You know what I mean? And also, I like the points, Mataji, about how when you were a teacher, you explained, and I'm sure you must be a very loving teacher. And this reminds me that, if you're not a loving teacher, your focus was on that only. Like, I remember there was a friend of my mother, her name was Mrs. Vinita. So my mother was teaching in the same school as me and my sister were going. But Miss Vanita, Ma'am Vanita, she never liked my mom. Between teachers, sometimes there is enviousness, grudges. So that's why she would always pinpoint to me and say things, you're not reading well, you're not doing this. And I used to come and tell my mom and cry sometimes. She says, it's okay, just this year you have her as English teacher, don't worry about it. So there are teachers who carry this, they won't take all the children same. They will show favoritism, and they're not good teachers. And those teachers also leave a mark on us, very bad mark on us. And at the same time, like you said, if you're a loving teacher on the other side, then they also help you grow much better than. So that reminded me of my teacher who was always picking on me because she has some issues with my mother, and she never liked her family or what it was, enviousness or whatever it was. Yeah. So thank you, Mataji, for mentioning that. I also went back to my memories but negative memories. But there were some teachers who were so good that they would greet us with a smile. They would talk very less, and we loved them. We loved them, and they were just focused on teaching us, whether it's a sports field or clay making or anything like that. Thank you, Mataji, once again.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
I've
This
got some
is
questions,
Geeta.
but
Yeah.
yeah, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Can you hear me?
Yes, thank you very much, Rupin Padu Mataji. And yes, dear Geeta Mataji, I can very much hear you.
Yeah, I know you're almost ready to, start your day. So, I mean, I'll get off this class. But I just wanted to let you know, Mataji, it's a wonderful class, and as usual, we were waiting when you would come next. And thank you so much for this. I really appreciate it. Never knew till this class that one should correlate one's dreams to, our state of how a spiritual being actually, like it is kind of a I don't remember my dreams most of the time, and I didn't know that, and it's a dream, so one never bothered really if they were bad. But today it is like a barometer in a way. I understood from your class that where we are in life. Thank you so much, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it was for me also like a barometer to know whether we get, because Prabhupada always used to say, see, if you are always from morning to night Krishna conscious, then you will see only Krishna conscious dreams. That's one thing. Morning to night Krishna conscious, and you get Krishna conscious dreams. And this is another thing. If you are doing sinful activities, we see bad dreams. So now we club up both and we get a complete understanding. I got complete understanding with that. Okay, so if we commit sins, we get bad dreams. Or if our subordinates commit, like our children commit sins, we get bad dreams. Okay, so then we have to be very particular in guiding our juniors, and in our own life, we should be as Krishna conscious as possible. So it is a nice test for us at night. I also never bother about the dream because I don't have time to bother about that. And many times, as I said, I also forget. So perfectly correct, dear Geeta Mataji. We just have to be Krishna conscious from morning to night. And night, it's up to Krishna. Whatever he sanctions will come as the dreams. It's all right. I feel like that. Thank you so much. Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Mataji. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Shall we end now?
Yes, Mataji, if nobody has any question or comment, we can end up the call here. Pancha,
Thank
thank
you
you
so
so much for this nectar class and question answer session, Mataji. We always look forward to your classes. Yeah.
I feel very happy to see all your faces. Yourself, Rupin Padmataji. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Vancha, Kalpatarvesha, Kripasindu, Evacha, Patitanam, Pavanapya, Vaishnava, Anantapati, Vaishnava ki jai.
Jai.
Vilas Thakur ki jai.
Jai.
Grantara Srimad Bhagvatam ki jai.
Jai.
Amrita Madhvi Mataji ki
Jai.
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 Thank you so
All
much.
Thank you,
glory.
Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you,
Thank
Hare
Mataji.
you.
Krishna.